Welcome back to the channel. If you've been liking these videos, make sure you hit like and subscribe for new ones every Monday through Thursday. Today, we're getting some advice to this woman who wrote in because she and her husband are having a bit of a disagreement over their baby name. He wants to name the kid after him, and she thinks that the kid should have a unique name. Now, on top of that, he's already a junior, so the kid would be a third. And she thinks, according to what she wrote here, being the third would make him sound stuck up like royalty. So what do you do? Is there a compromise here maybe you can make? What do you think?
If I have a son, it's going to be a third, and I'm okay with that because if you do love your husband, then I feel like it shouldn't exactly matter what you name your son. I mean, if you love him, then you're going to love your son whether he has his own identity or not.
So it's more along the lines of maybe she should find a way of being okay with it instead of trying to change what her husband wants.
Right, or maybe be like, can we be in the middle and like change the middle name? And then I feel like, I don't know if that can still be a third or not.
Yeah, that's a good point because my grandfather and my father had the same name besides their middle name, so that doesn't make my dad a junior, but my brother has the same name as my dad with the same middle name, so he's the junior instead of the third, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
so I think
absolutely.
I think that's a good idea, and it's a way that you can do that. And then when you refer to him, you can just give him a nickname. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Like you could use like the middle name as the first name, like around the house.
Derek in Pittsfield, what do you think?
I think they should name him after the third because I am named after the third, and I do not feel like royalty at all.
So you think that she's just overthinking things a little bit too much?
Correct. Honor the family name and let it ride out. Give him a nickname. Matter of fact, the nickname that I go by, which is Derek, isn't even my middle name. And the only reason why I'm named Derek is because my father's a big fan of Derek and the Dominoes.
I'm surprised he didn't name you that then.
How about it?
Yeah.
But Derek and the Dominoes is a really cool story.
Alicia in Waterville, your boyfriend's father's a third. How does he feel about it?
He loves the fact that he was able to carry on the tradition that his grandfather started. And if him and I had a boy, he was going to be the fourth because he wanted the tradition to remain. So I think that she should have a talk with her husband and, ask him why he wants their son to be the third. Because if it is for the tradition, in my opinion, I think she should do it. Because maybe down the road as he grows up and learns what the meaning of being a third is, he might actually like it as well.
Carol in Schenectady, what do you think?
I think she definitely should talk her husband out of it. I come from a family where not only do they name the boys after the fathers, they name the girls after their mother, and I've never married, and me and my mother have the exact same name, and I can't tell you how many times I've had problems because of it.
It just gets very confusing, I guess, between different people. They're trying to differentiate who is who, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, they just keep naming people in my family after other people in my family, and I agree with the mother. The child needs their own identity. My children are not named after anybody in my family. I put a kibosh to it.
Linda in Saratoga, what do you think?
Well, I think that he should be given his own identity. Because if it's a second, that's one thing. But if it's a third, then I guess it just depends on how he is. If he's a great person as a third, then I would say okay. But if not, then maybe those things that he inherits from his father would not be so good. I don't know.
Take a look at what you had to say up on Facebook. Justin says, my partner's family has a tradition of naming all the boys James and then just going by the middle name. It absolutely sucks. He gets his grandfather's and uncle's mail. His dad is also a James. They even rotate the same few middle names. It's not only confusing, but rough to get paperwork set up for. Seriously, every boy is a James. Shirley says, really? What's wrong with that? Nobody calls him the third unless he promote it. Or is it really your husband's name that you don't want to let him have? And finally, Elizabeth says, compromise and see if your baby can have a different middle name. That way he's not a third, but is still named after your husband. So what do you think? Let us know by leaving a comment down below. In the meantime, if you like this video, make sure you hit like and subscribe. And you can check out a couple more videos right here.